Matt Berner, you're taking a look at the Stronach 5 for Friday, September the 28th. The Stronach 5, it's a pick 5 that spans the family of Stronach racing tracks. 5-race sequence, goes all over the place, 12% takeout, $1 base bet. The way this wager works, if no one hits the pick 5, the Stronach 5, it gets carried over to the following Friday's Stronach 5 sequence. So we'll take a look at this week's sequence for Friday, September the 28th, give you a few horses, use it however you'd like. Consider them, don't consider them, however you'd like, but you definitely want to be playing this wager. Again, the Stronach 5, 12% takeout, $1 base bet. Kicks off with the 9th race at Laurel on Friday afternoon. 5 furlongs on the main track, $16,000 maiden claimers. Again, you could go very, very deep in this first leg. I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to take 4 or 5 horses at the very minimum to get through. I'm only going to take a look at 2 of them right here. The number 6 is one of them. That is Rapid Ash Cat. This is a horse getting blinkers on. The most recent start, I'm drawing a line through it at Delaware, came over a sloppy sealed racing surface. The debut from a speed figure standpoint earned a 31 buyer. That's at least competitive in here. Now the blinkers go on. I think getting back to a fast main track should help this horse. I'll take a look at that horse as well as the 7, Bay of Rocks. Bay of Rocks goes out. The most recent run at Timonium, perhaps didn't appreciate the surface. Gets back to Laurel Park where 2 starts back. Led basically the entire way until deep stretch and ended up finishing 3rd, beating 3.5 lengths. The Lasix go on for the first time. I think Bay of Rocks is interesting, but again, this is a race where I wouldn't be surprised at all if you needed to go very, very deep in order to get out of here alive. I'm looking at the 6 and the 7, though. In the first leg of the Stronach 5, we move out to the West Coast, Santa Anita Park. Opening day out at Santa Anita. Race number 4, optional claimer. It's a non-winners of 1 other than going a mile on the turf. I'll focus on the number 3, Streak of Luck from Matt Chu and Mike Smith. Most recently a winner at a state-bred N1X level. Now jumps up into the open N1X level. We'll find out if this 3-year-old filly can handle that sort of hike. From a buyer standpoint, she fits. She comes home very nicely, and she has a little bit of tactical speed, which is very important, especially at Santa Anita over that turf course. The other horse that I'm very interested in, just, again, maybe if you're playing with Ticketmaker or you're playing some sort of an ABC sort of Steve Christ a la situation, the 10 Hot Autumn might not be a main play for you, but this is a horse I just think there's one way for this one to go, and that's right to the front. You've got Ian Kruljack, you've got Tyler Bays aboard, coming off of a little bit of a layoff, but is working steadily here. I think there's a scenario where if no one else goes and they think that this filly is going to stop, maybe she gets brave out there and maybe she offers a very square price. Again, in a 12% takeout sort of situation and the dollar base bet, maybe you eliminate a number of people if a horse like this is able to wire the field. So the 3 and the 10, those are the 2 horses that I'm mostly keyed in on for the second leg of the Stronach 5 on Friday. That's the 4th at Santa Anita. We move on to the 3rd leg. Now we go to South Florida. Race number 8 at Gulfstream Park. 6 furlongs on the main track and 9 winners and 1 other than. Again, taking a look at 2 horses in particular. The number 3, Take Notice for Marcus Vitale. Nick Juarez with the mount. Haven't seen this one since August up at Saratoga. That was a claimed horse, or a claimed effort, I should say, out of that race. Used to be with Lucas, now goes out for Vitale. This horse has big speed. I think the speed nearest the rail, you break, you send, you try to wire this field. If this horse can't get the job done, perhaps the number 11 horse can. That's Empire Power. Empire Power is a horse that has only started once since the beginning of February. I thought it was a fine enough effort, and it was an allowance race, and now winners of 2 lifetime. There was a big pace signed on that day, and this horse still couldn't get the job done, but came with a belated bid, and I do feel like you're going to get a forward move here, second off the bench. Edgar Zayas and Antonio Sano, they team up here. So the 2 horses that I will focus in on the 3rd leg of the Stronach 5, the 3 and the 11. Now, we go to Northern California. This is fun. You get a little bit of everything from every racetrack in the Stronach family. Go up to Northern California on the Tapeta, race number 4 at Golden Gate. You've got a $40,000 claiming event. If I'm being honest and you're looking for a horse that you could probably get very narrow with, I could very easily say I'm going to single the 5 Baco Sweets. I think this horse for Billy Morey is in good form. Obviously a winner most recently. That was in the non-winners of 1 other than. Now we go into the open 40 level. This horse fits as far as the track is concerned, the distance is concerned. And tactically, this horse has a little bit of speed. I think Baco Sweets makes a ton of sense in here. William Anton Georgi with the mount. If you wanted to use another horse, and again, I'm going to use 2. If I was using Ticketmaker, I'd probably put most of my eggs in Baco Sweets basket. I'm also going to consider the 10, though, Snowcloud. I think Snowcloud for Jonathan Wong off the claim. This is a very interesting spot because this is a horse that had been in Southern California, occasionally would make the trip up to Northern California. The thing I like the most, not only are we off the claim for Wong, Wong does very good work with these types, enjoys the synthetic, 2 for 6 lifetime, but the majority of this one's career has come sort of on the turf. These races on the synth against better horses, This horse fits in here very, very well. And off the claim, you have that nice 5/8 of a mile bullet work, the best of 21 at the distance. That was back on September the 21st. I think you have to at least consider including the number 10 Snow Cloud if you are playing this wager. So again, two horses that I'll mainly focus on for the fourth leg of the Stronach 5 on Friday. That's the 5 and the 10. Hopefully we're alive and we get to the payoff leg, because this is one where I want to spread a little bit. We go back down to Southern California. I'm sorry, down to South Florida, excuse me. Race number 9 at Gulfstream Park. That is the payoff leg of this Friday's Stronach 5. I'm going to look at 4 horses in this $10,000 non-winners of 2 lifetime race going a mile on the turf. I don't trust many of them, and that's why I want to use a number. The 6 Stormy Arabella is a horse that has a little bit of that in and out type of form. You go through, runs a good race, comes back with a dud. Comes back with a good effort, comes back with a dud. If you believe that sort of trend is going to continue, you're probably coming up on one of the better efforts from her. It's also worth noting she could be the main speed in a race like this. Stormy Arabella, I think, is very interesting. The number 8, Peggotty. Peggotty on paper is slow, but the tactical speed that she brings to this race, if you believe that Stormy Arabella is going to go out to the front, and Peggotty could potentially sit just off. If you think maybe the in-out sort of pattern for Stormy Arabella doesn't continue on, and she fires another dud, perhaps Peggotty inherits this thing at what should be a decent enough price. I'll consider her as well. The number 10, Soldier's Pride, I think in many ways is the horse to beat, going from the beaten $16,000 claiming level. Now we drop into this one here. Most recently actually hit the front and just got a little bit tired. That was the first start since July. I would imagine we're going to take a step forward here. This horse wheels back in 2 weeks for Ralph Nix. And the other horse that I would like to consider is the 11, Ashley's Rose. Ashley's Rose is 1 for 18 lifetime, 10 times second or third. Maybe she looks like nothing more than a nibbler. She broke her maiden 2 starts back. In that most recent start, there was just no pace signed on. If you think that there is going to be a little bit more speed in here, and you think getting down to this 10,000 non-winners of 2 life is going to help her cause at a big number with Luca Panici aboard, perhaps Ashley's Rose is one that can get a little piece of this, if not the entire thing, in the 9th at Gulfstream on Friday. The 9th at Gulfstream on Friday is the payoff leg of Friday's Stronach 5. Again, the Stronach 5, it is a $1 base bet. It is a 12% takeout. If no one hits the Stronach 5, the entire pool is carried over into next Friday's sequence. This sequence, 5 races from all across the country, from all the Stronach family of racetracks. It's going to kick off at Laurel Park. That's the first race that you need to be paying attention to. Laurel, race number 9, is the kickoff leg of the Stronach 5 on Friday afternoon. Scheduled post time for race number 9 at Laurel. The first leg of the sequence is 5:10 Eastern. Good luck.